say at a very high level, what we have been observing for many years is that there is a critical need to upgrade some of our most important infrastructure in our country in order to be well positioned to accelerate the energy transition. And those two pieces of infrastructure are both our digital infrastructure and our energy infrastructure. And we have chosen to pursue the digital infrastructure side first, primarily because the government funding that's come into the space to now make many parts of the country more economically viable than they were. Those funds are now coming into the market. They're being awarded to local providers. And that is directly in line with our thesis of working with community serving organizations to help them reach those parts of their community that have been long underserved or completely unserved. And we see this as both the prerequisite of what needs to happen, upgrading these critical pieces of infrastructure, and doing it at the community level where those parts of the community just haven't been able to participate. Mostly what we're trying to do, or what we have been doing for the last several years, is building relationships with these community serving organizations. So, broadband service providers who work in their communities and utilities and other types of, cooperatives and municipally owned organizations that directly serve their members and the residents of their towns and counties and cities that they live in. So those are the folks that we're looking to serve. We are looking to partner with these organizations, mostly to help them sort of with the execution, which can be really challenging and daunting. What we've done is we've actually gone on sort of a national tour in terms of meeting with some of the best service providers, engineering design companies, organizations that manufacture OEMs for equipment and materials, for actual EPCs or contractors that are going to build out a lot of this infrastructure. And we've built partnerships with a whole wide variety of these folks so that when we engage with a community-facing organization and we can identify where their areas of need might be, we can come in and be very complementary as partners in helping them execute and actually get things done. It's just a question of making it financially viable and actually working with folks that really need that level of infrastructure. I think when you look at where sort of the population densities are and where, basically on both coasts of our country and up in the northern, the Northeast, they actually have a lot of good infrastructure based upon the size and scale of what they're dealing with. But that leaves huge swaths of our country that still remain underserved, whether that's in the Southeast or the Southwest or in the upper Midwest, where there's some more challenging geographies. There is a lot more land to cover, and there are a lot more other challenging issues like weather or other types of physical impediments to scaling up, meaning forests or mountains or large, vast spaces of land and rivers. Another outcome of the pandemic is more and more people have decided that's where they want to live, but then they need to be able to work. They need to be able to access educational opportunities and so forth. And so they need access to this critical infrastructure if they're going to continue that trend of living in a much more dispersed part of the country. I think that we went through a period that was historic in terms of the pandemic, and a little, especially focused on the digital side. It just became enormously clear that there was a massive digital divide in our country. And so folks that had ready access to affordable and high quality broadband were able to seamlessly transition their lives, whether that was their education, their healthcare, their work, and they had access to this critical infrastructure. Those that didn't, and the total is somewhere around 42 million folks who don't have access to either affordable or quality broadband opportunity. I think it was a huge wake-up call, and I call it a silver lining, that we've now been able to activate all areas of our government, of our public infrastructure funding. But it's shined a spotlight that we have to correct this once and for all. And now I think there's total alignment that this is a real issue. This is about being catalytic. This is putting in place what is critical for others to come along behind what we do and build on top of that.